Hey guys, so in today's video, my makeup tutorial is gonna be on this look right here. I posted this look on my Instagram a couple weeks ago and I got a lot of requests to film a tutorial on it. So I filmed it today. You know, I gotta say I like it even better this time than the first time I did it, mainly because of the pigment on the lid. It worked out better for me today than it did last time. It was doing a lot of creasing before, didn't look so hot. So yeah, I'm gonna be using a lot of new stuff, so let's go ahead and get started. Why do I... Got my hands really close to my chest right here. All right, so I'm gonna start out by priming my face, and I'm gonna be trying a new product out today. This is the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. If you guys watch Nikki Tutorials videos, you've heard that this is a really great primer. I'm gonna try it out today. I saw Kathleen Light's video where she did a first impression of this, and then Desi was telling me that she also has been using this over the past week or so. I'm gonna be trying it out today, so this is kind of gonna be like first impression. I did put a little bit of it on the back of my hand earlier, and it smells really manly, but like in a good way. I like manly smells, like colognes and whatnots. So the texture of it is really nice, very silky. It feels kind of like the Makeup Forever primer that I always use, this one. So far it smells really good, and then we'll see how it performs. And then before I start my eye makeup, I'm gonna be putting on a little bit of under eye concealer. And under eye concealer, I'm using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye in the shade medium, which actually replaced my MAC concealer that I was using for many, many years. And I'm gonna apply the concealer on my under eyes with the Morphe E8 brush. It's magic. You see that? A little concealer goes a long way, huh? All right, so now I'm gonna prime my lids, and I'm gonna be using the MAC 24 Hour Extend Eye Base. All right, now I'm just adding a translucent powder to my lid. You know why. So for my transition color today, I always have a hard time picking out what transition I want to use for like a bright purple, but I wanted to go with like a muted kind of pink. This is like a very soft pink. It's not like a hot pink or anything like that. So I got the Tartelette 2 palette, the In Bloom, and this color is called Sweetheart. Similar shadows you could use. I think there's one from Makeup Geek called Unexpected. I think that's pretty similar. Birkin from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Anything with just like a kind of muted pinky undertone to it. So I'm gonna be adding that directly into my crease, and I'm using the Smith 247 brush, and we are gonna be winging out the shadow today. So I'm gonna be winging out the transition too. So I'm just outlining the crease and then drawing the transition color in the direction towards the end of my brow. All right, so now we're gonna add the crease color. Well, actually, this isn't the crease color, it's the whole lid color. This look is really purple. This is a ColourPop Leopard. This is a matte eyeshadow. It looks like there's shimmer in it, but it's just a little cross-contamination from swatching. If you like purple shadow, you're definitely gonna like this one. This is like one of the truest violet shadows I've seen in a long time. It looks really similar to the Makeup Forever shadow number, I even remember, I think it's 92. I remember that was like my first really purple eyeshadow that I purchased. So this is a really cool color, and it blends out really nicely. So I'm gonna be adding this into the crease using that same Smith 247 brush. First, I'm gonna build up the shape, like the winged out shape of the eyeshadow, and then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and fill it in. All right, so we have the basic purple eyeshadow on. I am gonna go back in with a little bit more Sweetheart and a Smith 230 brush and buff out the edges a little bit more. Now we're ready to add the pink in the center of the lid, and I wanted to do purple all over the lid, so that way when we put the pink on, it really just pops. I really wanted to use a pink pigment type of shadow for this look just because it has so much reflection to it, but it's also a little bit sheer at the same time, if you know what I mean. So not like a full-blown shadow. And the pigment I'm using today is from OCC Cosmetics, and the color is called Twirl. Here's what it looks like. It doesn't look like anything fantastic in the pan. So it doesn't look like much on my hand, but when I look at it, like when I'm looking at it, I can see a lot of orange and like corals reflecting on it. So on top of the purple, it's gonna look really cool, and the purple is gonna bring out a lot of the colors that are in this pigment. I was gonna use my mixing medium, but now I'm thinking I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try it out, we'll see. Hopefully it works. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of the 24 Hour Extend Eye Base directly on top of the pigment in the center of the lid, and I'm using a MAC 239 brush. So I'm just really lightly patting it on so it doesn't remove any of the purple shadow. It did take off a little shadow. The last time I did this, it like got stuck in all the little wrinkles in my eyeball. So I'm gonna make sure my eye is like really stretched out. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the pigment. And then I'm just gonna lightly taper it out to the inner and outer corner of the eye. So that way it's not like a block in the center. It helped a lot, like stretching out my lid, because the first time I put it on, like when I did this look last time, it was really wrinkly in the center of the lid, the pigment, so I had to like layer on another MAC shadow on top of it, but I don't have to do it this time. All right, now I'm gonna add a little bit of liner to the top lid. This is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. I'm feeling good about this right now. I'm feeling good about this no winged liner. All right, I'm just gonna take a little bit of this Benefit concealer. This is actually, I thought it was called Light. This is number 1, the Boing concealer. And just clean up and highlight underneath the brow a little bit. Now I'm gonna apply some false lashes, and today I'm using the House of Lashes lashes. This is the style Noir Fairy Black. A little bit more spiky than the Queen Bee lashes that I normally wear. Branching out here. These look insane next to these ones, actually. I am gonna cut or trim them with this giant pair of scissors right here. Yes. Where's my lash glue? My little baby House of Lashes glue. I just restocked on some of this too. It does do interesting things in the old jar. They feel really, like I can kind of see them. They're really thick. I always recommend taking off both lashes out of the thing before you apply one of them, because I almost ripped this one actually, and that would have been very upsetting to me. All right, so now I'm ready to do my face, and I haven't committed to anything on my lower lash line. I don't know if I wanna do purple. I don't know if I wanna leave it naked. I don't know if I wanna do black in the waterline and just make it like a really clean cat looking eye on the bottom. So I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then see how I'm feeling about it, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for foundation today, I'm trying something new. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation, and I'm just gonna be applying this to my face like a stick. Ooh, it's cold, you know? All right, so I got this, and I got my beauty blender, wet beauty blender. I think if you have like drier skin, I probably wouldn't recommend getting this, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun to apply, it's definitely entertaining, but I don't know if I like it more. Well, if I did have to pick between this one or the liquid, I would probably pick the liquid, being that my skin is a little bit more on the drier side. I'm not sold on it, but it's cool. It's cool, you know? All right, and to highlight today, I'm using a new concealer that I got at Sephora. This is the Sephora brand Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. This is the color Custard. Oh, and I did not get a color to do my under eye concealer. I just got one to do highlighting with. So I just want to make that point that it's really just going to be like around the highlighting areas. So it's not doing like the full-blown under eye creasing test, if you know what I mean. But I do get some of it up there when I highlight. Also, this shade of Custard is very similar to the NARS Custard. I think it was the closest one. So I'm just gonna add some of this up in here. So you never really get the product on the side of the applicator. It's only on the top, which I think is interesting. All right, now I'm gonna blend it out with my beauty blender. This formula does blend really, really nicely into the skin. I really do like this formula. It's a little bit lighter than the NARS concealer that I normally use, which is what I like about it. And then I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just dip the tip of it into a little bit of my Laura Mercier powder. Oh boy. This is the Sephora brand Radiant Luminizing Drops. I told you guys I want to try and find a more affordable cream highlighter than the Benefit one, the What's Up cream highlighter, even though I really do love it. So this is what I'm using right now. This one's $14, so it's half the price of the Benefit one already. This one's more of a liquid. Well, it is a liquid, actually. And it has like a little dropper, so I just put like, just get a little bit on my fingers, kind of diffuse it so it's not as like, you know, and then just tap it right here. And I do bring this kind of like all the way up into the temples. But you see how pretty it is? I think it's really pretty. I like it. I think it gives a very similar finish to the Benefit one. So you can leave it just like this, just bare. But you know, I'm gonna put a little bit of powder on top of it. And I'm gonna use the MAC Oh Darling highlight. It's very similar to the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. So I'm just adding a little bit of Oh Darling. And this is a Smashbox fan brush, by the way. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of setting powder on the rest of my face, my MAC Select Sheer Press Powder. I wish I had a button for every time I said that, you know what I mean? I've literally been using the same powder for so long. Little bronzer, the Girlactik Cabo bronzer. Lots of bronzer, actually. I'm in serious need. Oftentimes I'll just contour with this color because it's so neutral that it actually works as a really good contour color. So I am actually, I'm gonna contour with the Girlactik. Just a little. And then I am gonna be doing a little nose contour with my Girlactik bronzer and a Morphe E13 brush. A little bit of highlight on the old nose. And the Cupid's bow. Let's do a little smitten from Makeup Geek today, right? Here, very pale, peachy, apricot, orangey toned blush in my Life palette. If you guys wanna see what's in my Life palette, I did make a video on it. I will link it down below. In-depth swatches and whatnots on all of my go-to shadows. Oh yes, girl. I'm gonna add something to my lower lash line. If there's too much going on top to not have anything on the bottom, but I'm gonna start with just black in my waterline and see how it feels to me. So I'm gonna add the ColourPop gel liner, the color Swerve, which is black, into the waterline. And then I'm gonna set it with black eyeshadow, like I always do, because it helps it to prevent it from running. And I'm using the Urban Decay Blackout eyeshadow and a Bare Minerals Soft Focus Liner brush. All right, I like this. This is just black liner in the waterline. I'm not gonna put any mascara on the lower lashes because it really does change the look of it. I want it to be like really clean and just like defined, catty, wampus. All right, so now I'm gonna line my lips and I'm using MAC Oak lip liner today. We're using oak. Oaking it out. And for my lip color today, I'm gonna be using the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. This is the color Cairo. It's a little streaky / uneven on me right now, unfortunately. So what I would like to do at this moment is apply a little bit of gloss on top of it, just to even it out. This is Ceremony Lip Gloss from Hot Makeup. I really love this lip gloss. It's basically if Peach Stock from MAC was melted into a lip gloss. All right, so I changed my mind. I feel like the black liner by itself looks a little unfinished. So I'm gonna add a little bit of the purple shadow to the lower lash line using a Smith 302 brush. All right, so now I'm just gonna buff out the purple with a little bit of the Sweetheart color that I used in my crease. And then I'm gonna put on some mascara on my lower lashes. Okay. That wraps up this makeup look. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching.